What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Barry. We back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button. Smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section. Comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news of the day coming out of Colorado. Of course, we're going to jump right into it, dog. So obviously, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show for providing us this phenomenal footage each and every day. As we all know, we're coming off of our disappointing loss to the BYU Cougars, 24-21. Of course, I'm gonna bring you guys the top 10 PFF grades and the game recap like I do each and every week. Sorry I'm a little late with this one here. I had a baseball tournament all week last week in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so I had to take care of business there, and then there was just a lot going on with the tournament, playing every day, so I didn't really have time to kind of get the recap out as soon as I wanted to. And I couldn't even watch the game because I was actually playing, so I had to go back and watch the game a couple of times, which I was able to watch the replay. I was able to follow the game a little bit, but I wasn't able to watch it live. So I did go back and watch the game a couple of times. I normally watch it like 2 or 3 times, anyways, before I do the recaps. But of course, man, it was a game where, to be honest with you, man, we should have won that football game, man. I mean, obviously, BYU is a talented football program. Hats off to them for getting a victory on the road at the end of the day. But that was a game that was very, very winnable for our Colorado football program. Started off hot, right? We was up 14-0 in that game, and of course, BYU was able to come back and win that football game. Of course, the keys to victory that I had offensively was get off to a fast start, which we did. Like I said, we got up 14-0. First drive, 11 plays, 75 yards and a touchdown. Second drive was 4 plays, 62 yards, another touchdown, right? So back-to-back touchdown drives to start the game off. But then we kind of went cold, right? It was punt, downs, punt. Then we had a 6-play drive for a touchdown. Then we punted again, then interception, right? So started off fast, but weren't able to maintain that explosiveness like we did coming out of the gate. Of course, we were able to keep our foot on the gas, rushing the football. That was another key to victory. This is the best, most consistent rushing attack that we've had in the Coach Prime era. And we were able to continue to rush the football, right? 37 attempts, 172 yards. Now, a lot of those yards did come in the first half. I'll get to that, how I felt like we kind of shied away from the run game a little bit in the second half. But, we were able to do that without Simeon Price, right? Without Trackhouse Taylor, too. So, 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Again, like I said, majority of that was in the first half. Coming out party, right, for Jalen Miller. Now, of course, I'm not really surprised that he had so much success rushing the football. If you remember me tracking his recruiting process and actually putting out his, commitment video, I said he was, he could be one of the best running back prospects in his class if he really wanted to play, want to play running back. So I'm not surprised, when you look at his high school tape and, look at his ability, his vision, his toughness, being able to break tackles, his cut ability. Like, you saw things. And he actually played a lot of running back in high school. So, I mean, you were able to see him in the backfield and see, his possibility of being a good running back at the next level. And I think, him transition over to the backfield is something that can really, really help him. And especially with his ability to still catch the football out of the backfield, understanding the route tree and the mismatch that he's going to create now being on linebackers. I think Jalen Miller, being teamed up with Coach Marshall Faulk, I think that's going to really, really help him in his future without question. And you look, right, 8 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. His longest rush was for 16 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry, which was very good there for him. And then you just look at it overall, right? Michael Welch, right? He had 11 carries for 67 yards. His longest was 27 yards, 6.1 yards a pop. And of course, Caden Salter, 17 attempts, 49 yards. When of course, we had the sack yardage. I'm gonna get into that on the sack that we had, a 22-yard loss. That that hurt as well too. But he did gain 88 yards if you take out the sack yards. He also had a touchdown as well too there. Of course, I wanted to limit the self-inflicted wounds, penalties, and turnovers. We've been pretty clean when it comes to penalties and turnovers all season. We did have 6 penalties for 67 yards. It's like our penalties just come at the wrong time. Like now, it's not so much of us getting 10 penalties, 12 penalties in games. Now it's just the fact that our penalties at times, they just come at the wrong time. It just sounds like they always come on third down, right? It's just a PI, defensive holding. It's just always a face mask, or, roughing the passer. It's just always a penalty at the wrong time now, dog. It just, that definitely just hurts us. BYU has 6 penalties as well, but theirs was for only 34 yards. And of course, we did have 1 turnover in the game, the interception in the fourth quarter. Of course, right, on defense, right, the defensive side of the football, I wanted to contain a QB1. Now, obviously, their quarterback, Bear, was a dual threat quarterback capable of getting it done with his legs, right? He had a rushing touchdown in every game leading up to this Colorado matchup. And, of course, versus CU, right, he had 15 carries, which was the most he's had all season. He had 98 yards, which was also the most he's had all season. We just don't stop the quarterback run. Like, the design quarterback run, we just, at this point, I don't even expect it anymore because we haven't done it, right? And I'm not even surprised anymore that we do not stop the quarterback run. It's just something that just doesn't happen with this defense. I wanted to limit the missed tackles. We did have 10 of those double-digit missed tackles. Of course, it was too many to my liking there. I wanted to create a turnover or two. We didn't have any, right? Of course, when you play a team like this, man, you gotta steal a couple possessions. Even though we didn't, we still had opportunity to win this game. We should have won this game, but normally when you play a team, a nationally ranked team, man, you got to create a turnover or two. You got to steal a possession here and there. I wanted to stop shooting ourselves in the foot on third down. Like I mentioned, a lot of our penalties, a lot of the times, come on third down, dog. And I wanted to, stop doing that. We didn't have any 3 and outs. We continued to shoot ourselves in the foot. We didn't have any 3 and outs on defense, which was kind of tough to see there. We did give up 208 rushing yards on 36 carries. Of course, it's tough to also see that as well too, right? Teams just being able to continue to rush the football over 200 yards, that's 5.8 yards a pop, right? I know the quarterback, Bear, which I hate the fact that we got beat by a quarterback running number 47, dog. Like, I'll get it. He wore it in high school too. I'm pretty sure there's probably some sentimental value to it, but it's just like, come on, dog. And it's true. We got beat by a true freshman QB, man. But anyway, he was solid, right? 19 of 29. For $179, 2 touchdowns. Again, like I said, he also rushed for 98 yards as well too. So he was solid. We gave up 387 total yards on defense as well. Now I will say some things here. BYU did have the number 1 defense and still do, right? The number 1 defense in the Big 12 conference, only averaging 9.3 yards. 9.3 points per game. They had only given up 4 touchdowns all season. 3 of those touchdowns came from Colorado. They've only given up 37 total points all year. 21 of those are from Colorado, right? Now, Colorado, our defense is the only Big 12 defense to give up over 2,000 total yards so far this season. We're giving up over 400 yards per game. Now there is some good on the defense. We're tied right now for 3rd in the Big 12 in fumble recoveries with 3, but giving up 400 yards a game is just not gonna get it done, dog. Being the only team in the conference, to give up 2,000 yards and so far this season, it's just not gonna get it done. But like I said, we played a pretty solid defense with BYU. Now I know some people are gonna say they didn't really play anybody, which is why they haven't really given up any points, which is why they haven't really given up any touchdowns. But at the end of the day, man, you play what's on your schedule, right? And they're number 1 in the Big 12 right now, only giving up 9.3 points per game. And like I said, only giving up 4 touchdowns. 3 of those came from Colorado, 37 points, 21 of those came from Colorado as well. Let's switch over here to the top 10 PFF performances that we have here for the BYU matchup. And we're going to start with Jalen Miller, right? His coming out party for sure. Highest wide receiver grade, highest rushing grade as well. 8 carries, had 52 yards and a touchdown. Again, averaged 6.1 yards per carry. Also had 2 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown. Best game that we've seen from Miller all season. Another bright spot here, man, who's going to really be a special player for us in the future. Got to definitely hold on to him. London Merritt, a true freshman, right? 82.8 at the highest defensive grade, highest pass rushing grade, 2nd highest run D grade, had 4 tackles and 1 hurry as well. I can't be too surprised, right? You were looking at a blue chipper with him, right? 4 4-star guy, had offers all over the country. I know Ohio State wanted him very, very bad, right? So, not surprised that he's a true freshman that was able to come in and make an immediate impact there. Tavian Coleman comes in at number 3, 75.3, solid all night, right? Highest run D grade, had 2 tackles, also had a tackle for loss as well. Coming in at number 4, Micah Welch, 75 flat, second highest offensive grade. Again, had 11 carries for 67 yards and was our leading rusher in the ball game. Coming in here at number 5, Jaheim Otis, 73.4, had the 4th highest run D grade, finished with 1 tackle as well, was stout in the middle. Jordan Seaton here at 71.8, highest graded offensive lineman, highest pass blocking grade as well. Didn't give up any pressures, didn't give up any hurries. I mean, he's been our highest graded pass blocker pretty much every week. Man, he's elite, bro. Like it's just no way to spin it. I mean, he is a special offensive line prospect who we expect to be a top 10 pick in, of course, next year's draft class. Coming in here, we have Carter Stottmeyer at 71.7, highest graded DB, highest overall tackle grade. He was a second leading tackler as well, too, with 7 tackles. Coming in here at number 8, Anquin Barnes at 69.6, third highest run D grade. He also had 2 tackles as well. And of course, we actually had a tie here because Joseph Williams is coming in here. I guess you can say 8B or whatever, or 9, whatever you want to spin it, but 69.6 as well. Second highest graded wide receiver. He was our leading wide receiver in that ball game with 5 catches for 56 yards. And last but certainly not least here, I've got Tawfiq Byer, right, at 67.8, second highest coverage grade. He led the team in tackles with 10. He also had 1 tackle for loss as well, and that rounded out our top 10 PFF grades. Of course, we had some elite prospects that were in Boulder for the BYU matchup, and it looks like they definitely had a great time, and we made a great impression without question when it comes to these recruits. I'm gonna make a separate video on the recruits and their sound bites, but we made some moves in recruiting in that BYU game. Of course, even though we end up losing that football game, we made some moves for sure in recruiting, and there were some elite athletes on campus. Again, I'm gonna get into that. I'll probably drop that video tomorrow. Now that I'm back from the tournament and I can kind of get back rolling, I'll probably drop that video for you guys tomorrow. But just looking forward, right? Of course, we got TCU coming up, right? It's gonna be another solid opponent. Gonna be on the road, right? So it's gonna be another tough ball game, and it's gonna be even tougher because we got to go on the road to win it, right? So just got to be battle tested, man. I mean, we've played some good teams, right? I mean, we played some teams, and you look at Georgia Tech, they're still undefeated, right? Of course, you look at Houston, I believe they're undefeated. BYU's undefeated, right? So I mean, we played some teams that are still having success. I believe if you look at the combined records of the teams that we've played, I know Wyoming has lost 2 games. Like I said, I believe Houston is still undefeated. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know BYU is undefeated. Georgia Tech is undefeated. And with Delaware, I got to check with Delaware. I believe they might only have 1 loss, Delaware. And I believe that was our loss. I don't think Delaware has lost another game since they played us. No, they're 3-1. So, our teams that we play are having success, right? So, but there's still no excuse because I still feel like we should have won that Georgia Tech game, and I really feel like we should have won this BYU game. I mean, you look at it, right? We were right there. I mean, at Houston, we just played a bad football game, but we're right there in these ball games, and it's definitely some things we still got to clean up without question defensively. I mean, we just have to get better defensively, and I mean all around, right? Offense. I mean, the only thing that's really been consistent all season is our special team game. That's about it. I mean, that's the only thing that's been consistent pretty much each and every week is special teams play. But other than that, I mean, we show flashes at times that we could be solid on defense. We show flashes at times that we can be a very explosive offense. We show flashes at times that we can be dominant in the run game, but it's just flashes. It's not consistent, and that's what it's going to take for us to be highly successful and to be able to achieve the goals that we have set out for this season. But things can get better. It has to, and it has to start this week with TCU. And we got to go on the road and get a win. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to go on the road and get a win. And I believe if we do all the things right, we will. But not gonna keep it long. Just want to bring you guys another phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what time it is, dog. Bird's eye view, man.